Hey y'all, so I'm about to show you my new method for a lace closure sew-in. As you can see, I have my braids up here going straight to the back, and that'll just help me to easily part my closure going anyway. So I sped this part up. I'm just sewing my braids down, and the reason I'm saying this is a new method is because I'm trying out a new braiding pattern. Normally I do my braids like going down from a part, and you can see that in my first lace closure sewing video of how I normally do my braid pattern. But I've chose to do this braid pattern because this is the same pattern that you would do with the frontal, except for everything will be going straight back. But with the frontal, you can part it any which way. It looks super natural. So I thought, like, why not try this with the lace closure? So this is the hair I'm using. It's HerGivenHair, and this is the Kinky Blowout texture, and I am, oh my gosh, in love with it. If you want to see how I highlighted it, just check out my previous video. I did an unboxing, and I showed you how I got these highlights. So to start, you just want to get your thread attached to a braid. So here I'm just going in and grabbing that corner of my closure and bringing that on down. And this is going to act like it's an anchor to hold that closure down, hold it tight, and hold it in place. Now this was an extra step I did. I actually forgot to do it before I started sewing, but I'm just plucking out hairs from the front so that it doesn't look so wiggy, and it just helps to make it look more natural. Okay, back to sewing this closure down. So now that I've sewn through the corner of the closure, I'm gonna go in and sew towards that end part of my braid. And like I said, that's gonna act as an anchor to hold that closure down and to hold it flat and in place. And right here, I'm just securing that stitch by going through, looping it around a few times. Now I'm going ahead and sewing my closure down all the way around. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure you're doing the back a little looser than you're doing the sides, because you don't want to pull it to the back before you're completely done with it. Here I'm doing a part where my braid is, and as you can see, I kind of like lifted it up to see where the braid was. And I'm going to take this, pull your closure up to where you want it to be, and I'm going to stitch on that braid, doing in a, what's this, y'all, a vertical line. Yeah. So I'm doing like a vertical type of movement, making sure to start from the back of the closure to the front. You just watch this part. Just watch. When I sew it like that, what you want to do is, put it back in close to where you just sew, so you don't have like a big a big piece of thread like right there, and most of the thread is like underneath, if that makes sense. Here I'm just parting where another braid is. I'm making sure that's where the braid is, and I'm gonna go back under and begin to sew, like sew this down. So I'm about to attempt to show y'all how I flip my tracks without cutting them while I have them doubled. So I just take the track that is on the bottom and I continue that, up to the side, and that's the track that I'm going to be flipping back. And this will help it to lay flatter instead of bringing both tracks to the front, because that'll be really bulky. So just bring one of those tracks and then flip it back and then continue to sew them both together. So here you just want to spray down your closure, that way it can lay flat and part it where you need it to part. I feel like any closure with any lace closure can be a free part closure, because all you have to do is spray it with water, part it, and customize that part to how you want it to be. So here I'm just parting it, and then I'm gonna start ripping hairs out. You want to do like maybe a couple strands at a time, just so you don't rip your closure. So this will help to widen that part, and it helps to make it look like 100 times more natural.